Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned. The Abuja Senator Ireti Kingibe, has reacted to the comment of the FCT Minister Wike that the result of the 2026 council polls in the FCT are already known. And according to her, she says that statement is reckless, coercive, and undemocratic. In a statement which she made available to the press on Wednesday and shared across her social media platform, Kingibe disclosed that she has written to several key national and international bodies, including the Independent National Electoral Commission, the Inspector General of Police, and the National Security Advisor. She further said that she had also written to the leadership of the National Assembly, the European Union, the African Union, Ecowas, and members of diplomatic communities. But then let me give you full details of what she said in the write-up. Now, according to Senator Ireti Kingibe, she made it known, and she says, as the duly elected senator representing the Federal Capital Territory, I feel compelled to respond strongly and unequivocally to the deeply troubling and undemocratic remarks recently attributed to the Honorable Minister of the FCT, Mr. Wike. In a statement widely circulated in the media, the minister was quoted as advising opposition parties not to waste their time and money in the upcoming FCT area council election, claiming that the result is known. Such a statement is not only reckless and inflammatory, it is dangerous. It undermines the very foundation of our democracy and directly assaults the constitutional right of the resident of the FCT, who, like all Nigerians, deserve free, fair, and credible elections. The suggestion that election outcomes are already determined before a single ballot has been cast reeks of impunity, intimidate voters, and disrespect the sacrifices of countless Nigerians who have struggled and fought to preserve our right to vote in meaningful elections. Let me make it abundantly clear that the Federal Capital Territory does not belong to any one man, party, or office holder. It belongs to the Nigerian people, those who live, work, and raise their children in Abuja's 6th Area Council. The residents of the FCT are not subject to be detected to by any appointee, no matter how powerful. They are citizens with full right to determine who governs them at all levels. Elections in the FCT are administered by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, not by the Federal Capital Territory Administration. Any insinuation, overt or subtle, that someone other than the electorate can determine the election of an election is a violation of our laws and a betrayal of the public trust. It is precisely such attitude that erode public faith in governance, widen the trust deficit, and inflame tensions that our democracy cannot afford. To the minister, I say this: if you believe in your achievement and truly think that the work of your administration speaks for itself, then you should welcome open competition. You should embrace the process of democratic contest, not fear it. What is there to be afraid of if the people are truly satisfied? Why seek to undermine the credibility of the electoral process if you have nothing to hide? I have taken steps to formally communicate my concern to the Independent National Electoral Commission, the Inspector General of Police, the National Security Advisor, and the leadership of the National Assembly. I have also written to our international partners and observers' mission, including the European Union, the African Union, ECOWAS, and the diplomatic community, to take note of this dangerous rhetoric and to prepare to closely monitor the electoral environment in the FCT as the election draws near. We must not allow our democracy to be reduced to a mere theater of manipulation. To the political parties, aspirants, civil society actors, youth groups, and voters across Abuja, I urge you, do not be discouraged. This is your land and you fight. The struggle for accountable leadership and credible election is not one we can afford to walk away from. Organize, mobilize, and participate. Go door to door, engage with your communities, speak boldly, and when the time comes, vote decisively. To the resident of Abuja, I assure that I remain fully committed to the defense of your right and integrity of our electoral process. I will use every constitutional and legal means available to me as your representative in the Senate to resist any attempt to subvert the will of the people. I will work tirelessly to ensure that the FCT becomes a model of democratic participation, not a symbol of political manipulation. Let no one be in doubt. The 2026 area council election will not be an imposition. There will not be a coronation. There will not be business as usual. There will be a referendum on the state of leadership in the FCT, and the people will have the final say, not threat, not propaganda, not coercion. The FCT will rise, democracy will triumph, and the voices of the people will be heard loud, clear, and unshaken. Senator Ireti Kingibe, representing the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Let me allow you to watch the essay of that statement that's the video of that statement made by Wike, and then me and my colleague will talk about this.
I don't know those who are throwing election in the area councils. I don't know what they will preach to the people. But those who are with us, they have the opportunity to tell people what we have done. So let people know who is their money. Let people know who is their money. The result is good.
My colleagues in the house, I don't know what we will say at this point, but I think some of these so-called politicians are taking this thing beyond. And, it's quite shocking that certain persons are supporting that kind of statement. People will come out and begin to say certain things. And, it's an indication for me of what actually happened in Rivers State, where the people were not given the right to choose their own governor. Where a governor will sit back and say, the person who will take over from me, it must come from me. And that was exactly what was done. Now he has gone to a strange environment, and the same thing is about to happen. What's your standpoint on this undemocratic attitude by the so-called leader?
Let's say the truth the way it is, and let's not be biased, and let's try not to be politically correct. There's a kind of politics that Wike plays is called Wike's kind of politics. It's unique only to Wike. Now, if you watch Wike, let's look at his antecedents from the days of Obiobor to became a governor, when he became a governor to when he became a minister. You would agree with me that Wike have always been known to be aggressive in politics. When he was even the commissioner working under Rotimi Amechi, at some point Rotimi Amechi did not even know who Wike is, and Rotimi Amechi noticed that people were always going to Wike, and Wike will not have to report to him. It was much later when he now had the direct fracas, Wike now discovered, most people started coming close to him and saying that actually Wike would stop them from having access to him. He literally took charge. And Wike kind of politics is that kind of politics that when he comes in, there's always business as usual. As soon as he comes in, he marries the thing, owns it, transforms it to his own, and dictates how it's being done. Look at other people came, handpicked a governor, allowed them to rule. You go to the turn of Wike. Wike seat was a structure.
Do you understand?
Which means that the likes of Amechi, Peter Odeli, they never had anything. What they didn't transfer to you? Okay, you would have just said that Rivers never existed. When you came in, that was when Rivers came in. So, literally speaking, you own Rivers State. Now he has come to, that kind of politics, he played it, he succeeded in it. It became a style of politics.
Supporters.
Yes, it became a style of politics. Remember when Wike was on board? No, there was no opposition. The first time Wike contested, he contested against Rotimi Amechi's person. The second time Wike would contest, then he had built his own kind of politics. Nobody could raise up that. He put katakata in the AA, put the APC Rivers were fighting within themselves until they could not field a candidate. And when one of them moved to AA, before you say who goes there, a day before the election, the VP, deputy governor, resigned, said he does not want to do joint ticket. They literally scattered AA. And he went unopposed. You ask yourself a question, Wike, was it that a super performer that he will go unopposed in a present country like Nigeria where there was always an opposition? He has put that style of politics into national. Where now PDP is no more, LP is literally no more. ADC that wants to raise up his head is scattering them. You just know that is wicked kind of politics. And it's not telling them as usual, don't bother to waste your money because there will not be election. We will select. And if this kind of politics comes to stay in national, we are no longer practicing democracy. All hands really needs to be on deck. But I noticed something very unique. In as much as it's beneficial to you, you will love his politics.
You understand? You're okay until when it comes against you. That's when you realize this is undemocratic.
Yes, right now
this must be stopped.
Right now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is enjoying it. It makes a lot of sense. The opposition are fighting within themselves. What is his own? But if it comes to stay, if it becomes a mainstream opposition, which means winner wins all, it will not be a case of if I don't win it, let everybody then can be quiet, quote and unquote. And we are watching it. If Nigeria keeps sleeping and they slip into this kind of dimension of politics, let's forget it. We don't have democracy. Because after this, him bringing this kind of politics, everybody will now have to bow to him. Because for you to get any ticket, you have to go through Wike.
Now,
he will not only not be a kingmaker, after a while, he will now become a king himself.
There's this ex-media of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu who made a statement some days ago when he was invited to channels. And the guy opened up that there was somebody who wanted to run on the platform of People Democratic Party. And according to the guy said, I want to leave. That the PDP contestant that he should migrate to APC. The guy declared, he said, if you don't migrate, let me wait and see how you will buy the form, and then they will sign the form for you. That the nomination form that you will buy, I'll make sure that nobody signs the form for you. No wonder the secretary is there to do his bidding. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if people see beyond now, because it seems as though this thing is very comfortable, it's very nice, but very soon we are going to take a journey into a pedestal. We are going to go to a level where we will be shocked. How did we get here? This guy is not the owner of Nigeria. There is nothing that they will say. This guy is an ordinary citizen like every other person. Why do you give him this kind of audacity? This thing must be fought and stopped as much as we can. That's where we would like to leave it.